perfect vegan vanilla cake. I mean, look at that. She's gorgeous. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Britt and I am the vegan baker and food blogger behind the Banana Diaries. And today we're making my all-time favorite recipe, the vegan vanilla cake. This is an absolute crowd pleaser on the blog. It's a fan favorite. People just love this recipe and I'm so excited to finally be making a video for it. You're just gonna absolutely love how easy it is, and it honestly tastes like the best vanilla cake you've ever had. Not just vegan, vanilla too. And you can easily make it gluten-free by using gluten-free 1-to-1 baking flour. Or I have a very similar recipe that uses oat flour that I'm gonna link down below in the description box. But yeah, let's stop talking and go make this so that you can enjoy this too. Okay, so to start, I want you to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and make sure that you've lined your baking pans with parchment paper and lightly grease them. I am using 2 8-inch cake pans, but you can also use 3 8-inch cake pans, 3 6-inch cake pans, or 2 9-inch cake pans. Or you can make this as a sheet cake as well. Also a tip, I always weigh out all of my ingredients, whether they're liquid or dry ingredients. You can use cup measurements and I've provided those all linked down below in the description box, but I highly recommend for the most accurate bake to use a kitchen scale. This is my kitchen scale. You can get them for like $15 on Amazon. I believe mine was on the more expensive side, like $50, but it's really, really high quality and I use it all the time and it's super accurate. So highly recommend that. I'll link that down below as well. So to start, we have our dry ingredients. This is just the flour, baking powder, and baking soda. I'm just gonna give that a gentle whisk to make sure that all of the baking powder and baking soda is whisked throughout. We've also sifted the flour, and sifting the flour helps with the aeration in the cake, and that will actually help our cakes to rise a bit more. The funny thing about vegan baking is that it does rely a little bit more on technique. I think that there's a little bit more give and take with conventional baking where, you know, you have the eggs that will help your cakes rise, but because we don't have eggs, we have to really rely on the leavening agents, on our technique of fluffing the flour, of creaming together the vegan butter and the sugar. So without further ado, let's begin with that. So we're gonna take our vegan butter. I let this come to room temperature, which is about 65 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm using Miyoko's Creamery vegan butter, and we're just going to plop this into our stand mixer. And next up, we're adding in our granulated sugar. Now you can also make this in a large bowl with a hand mixer, but I'm gonna be using a stand mixer for this quick little tutorial. All right, now let's cream them together. All right, so that was about 3 minutes on high speed. I'm just gonna scrape down the bowl. Always remember to scrape down the bowl in between mixing. This just makes sure that all the ingredients are super mixed together. All right, and next up we're gonna be adding in dairy-free yogurt or applesauce. So I'm using dairy-free yogurt here. I'm using Forager Project, the unsweetened vanilla cashew milk. I just love that extra vanilla flavor. You can also use applesauce or you can also use banana, but I will say that banana will make this taste like a banana cake. Applesauce has a really neutral flavor, as does dairy-free yogurt. I tend to use dairy-free yogurt just because the fat in the yogurt helps to add a more tender texture. So we're just gonna spoon that in here. And this is our vegan egg replacement. So in a traditional vanilla cake recipe, you'd be adding in the eggs and we're adding in the yogurt. We're gonna mix again. Check that out. We're mixing really just to incorporate the yogurt into the vegan butter, and while it's mixing, I'm gonna add in the vanilla extract. So we're using 2 whole tablespoons of vanilla extract, and I know that sounds excessive, especially because vanilla extract is expensive, but trust me, this flavor is next level when you have that much vanilla in there. It truly makes the best vanilla cake. So this is where we're gonna add in our dry ingredients and our vegan buttermilk in increments. So I mixed the buttermilk before I started the cake baking process. So this is just dairy-free milk and a little bit of apple cider vinegar, but I've also actually discovered that Forager Project has an amazing drinkable yogurt that acts just like a buttermilk. So whenever I can find that at the grocery store, I like to use that instead because it's basically just like store-bought vegan buttermilk, which makes our lives super easy. But so I've mixed this, and then I've just let that curdle the entire time that we've been making that. So we're gonna add in our flour first. We're gonna add in about half. You could do it in increments of 3 as well. Okay. Then I'm gonna also add in a little bit of the buttermilk, about half, and we're going to mix that lightly. All right, once that flour is mixed in, we're going, just until it's mixed, we're gonna add in the remaining flour. So I'm just gonna add that in there. Then we're gonna add in the dairy-free buttermilk as well, the remainder of that. And then we're gonna mix just until the flour is incorporated. This is super important so that we don't overmix the batter. We overmix the batter and we're gonna lose all the aeration and the fluffiness that we worked so hard to achieve in this cake. I like to go on medium speed, and that makes sure that we're really not overmixing. Oh, I also meant to mention that you can make this gluten-free. If you swap in gluten-free 1-to-1 baking flour, you can make this cake entirely vegan and gluten-free vanilla cake. I do also have an entirely oat flour vegan vanilla cake, which I'm gonna link both of those down below. All right, she looks absolutely perfect. That is the consistency that we want. How beautiful is that? So we're just going to scrape down the sides again, make sure that everything is fully incorporated. Okay, so we have our cake pans right here. They're lined. We're just gonna pour the batter evenly into each cake pan. It's nice because there's only 2, so that's all we need to worry about. And you'll notice it's not a super pourable cake batter, which is totally fine. It's on the thicker side. This is what we want because we want a little bit more flour, which will help with the rising process in the cakes rather than a liquid consistency. All right, our cakes are ready to go, so I'm gonna go pop them into the oven, and I'll see you back here in about 27 minutes for me, but next slide for you. So be right back. So our cakes are finally nice and cool. Remember, you really don't want any warmth to the touch, so just ensure that there's absolutely no warmth coming from your cakes, or else when you're frosting the cakes, it's just going to slide and be a big mess, and we don't want that, friends. Okay, so let's make the buttercream now. So I am using vegan butter once again. This time I'm using the unsalted vegan butter here. And this has been softened to room temperature once again. I'm gonna add this to the bowl, and again you can use a stand mixer with the whisk attachment, or a large bowl and a hand mixer. So first up, we're just going to cream this together so that's nice and fluffy. And then we're just gonna scrape down the bowl again just to get the butter to the middle of the bowl, and then next we're gonna add in our powdered sugar. So for the powdered sugar, I'm gonna rest that on my coffee mug. Probably not my best idea. It's okay. So for the powdered sugar, not all powdered sugars are vegan, just like not all cane sugar is vegan. I typically use Florida Crystals powdered sugar, which is certified vegan and organic. Foods is also vegan and it is organic. Organic powdered sugars tend to be vegan. You can always Google search it if you're questioning what type of sugar you're using. But you'll see the little label down here will say that. So whatever's in store for you. Oh no. Okay, we got it. All right, so we're gonna add our powdered sugar in increments here so as not to overwhelm the butter. I'm gonna add in about a cup here. And then we're also gonna add in the vanilla extract at first. You can eyeball this, it's probably about 2 teaspoons. And then we're gonna mix again. Start off slowly because you don't want the powdered sugar to just go right in your face. It's not very fun. It would taste good, but it's not very fun to clean up afterwards. And then slowly increase the speed as the powdered sugar starts to incorporate into the vegan butter. Once it looks like that, we're gonna add in more powdered sugar here. And then we're also gonna add in a little bit of dairy-free milk, about 2 tablespoons worth, to help us integrate the powdered sugar into the vegan butter this time. Again, start off slow so that it doesn't fluff up everywhere in your face, and then slowly increase the speed. All right, and our frosting is all ready to go. She's super smooth, super creamy. Now let's frost this cake. Okay, now we will start to assemble our cake. So I've leveled off these cakes, and I'm just going to place the leveled off part on the bottom because it's just going to be easier to frost. And I've also placed a plate onto my cake turntable. You could just do it onto the actual turntable, but I find it's easier for me to just do it like that. We're gonna add a generous amount of frosting to this layer. And then we're just gonna spread it around. I try to reach just over the edges of the cake layer because then it's just gonna be easier to frost the outside of the cake. Super smooth and lovely. This is actually my mom's favorite buttercream. She's not 100% vegan, but she loves my vegan buttercream more than regular dairy buttercream. So if that tells you anything, it's to make this vegan cake ASAP, especially for people that think that vegan desserts cannot taste as delicious as their more conventional counterparts. Okay, and now we're just going to put some sprinkles on top. And we're done. I think that we should slice into it because when you make a cake, I think that you deserve to have a slice right now. So we're gonna do that right now. Oh my gosh, just slicing into this feels like you're just slicing into butter. It's so beautiful. Wow. Okay. Check her out. I'm just like, oh, it's so beautiful. The texture is lovely. The height, I mean, look at that. That's all vegan. That is eggless, dairy-free. That's pretty phenomenal. Yeah, so this is a perfect birthday cake recipe, anytime cake recipe, because you don't need a reason to eat a cake. But I think that we should do a taste test, so let's do it. Oh my gosh, it's so tender to just like go like that. I love it. Okay. The texture is light, fluffy, so moist, just the perfect crumb. I mean, she's beautiful. I'm actually obsessed. All right, bakers, if you love this recipe, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so that you can be notified when more recipe videos like this pop up on your feed. And also, go check out the recipe. Go make it. Leave a rating and review on the website. Everything is linked down below so you can find all the full instructions on how to make this. Link down below in the description box. I just cannot wait to hear what you think about this cake recipe because I know that you're gonna love it. It's literally the best vegan vanilla cake on the planet. I'm gonna be bold and say that, and you're just gonna love it. I'm gonna go enjoy this slice and I will see you on the next one. Bye. This guy loves the buttercream. Oh, he just hiccuped. Buddy. Okay, you go play with Nolly.